Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to do a radiator replacement on my RSX. A radiator busted on it. This is a 2002 ACURA RSX, but this should work on any 2002 to 2006, I think, and probably the same in the CRV as well. So if you're looking to find out how to replace or remove the radiator on your 2002 RSX or maybe even your CRV, then this is a video for you, and I'll do my best to explain everything. I'm going to skip how to remove the bumper. You're going to need long extensions for your ratchet, but there's a few 10 millimeters and a couple 8 millimeter screws, and then obviously the brush guard on the bottom is kind of a pain in the ass too, but I'll let you figure that part out, and then we'll get into the radiator. I'll show you how to drain your radiator. This guy right here, if you turn this, shouldn't be too tight, but you loosen that, and this is a good place to drain your radiator before you do this job, or drain your entire cooling system, because you're gonna have to replace all that fluid anyways. Okay, so you're gonna remove 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on this side, 10 millimeter. And if you look at this, it's kind of a T, and down at the very bottom in the center of the car, there's another 10 millimeter bolt. They're all different sizes, so keep in mind. There's a wiring harness that connects right here with these. Just use a pair of pliers, press them through. It just pulls right out. But then right underneath it, there's another harness. I've already unplugged it. This is the one. You just unplug that. I'm not going to take my hood latch out. I'm just going to push this off to the side. And hopefully that'll be out of the way enough to get this job done. And now we have the radiator, the coolant reservoir, and the fans. I got a feeling that this is going to come out pretty easily, hopefully. Remove this top radiator hose here. Just an 8 millimeter on this particular clamp, but I'm sure that this clamp's been replaced before. So if it's a squeeze clamp, just get your needle nose pliers and work that off. So once you got that loose, you just kind of pull that bad boy off. This thing is completely busted, so I have no coolant in mine. If yours is full, then this will definitely pour out. So go ahead and drain your radiator before you do this job. What you want to do is remove the reservoir. You can remove this bolt here, 10 millimeter. Now we're going to pull off this little radiator hose. And I like to use a pair of vice grips because it makes it a little easier than needle nose, because it'll lock it off. Squeeze that, lock off your clamps so it's easy to move it out of the way, and that's it. And then you might have to wiggle this. This is probably going to be seized on pretty well, so you're going to have to work that. And there's probably still some fluid in here, so this is probably going to leak out, make a mess, but it's okay. It's so hard to take radiator hoses off that have been on for 20 years. Getting these hoses off can be a pain in the ass. I'm gonna show you the easiest way to do it. Get a big pair of vice grips like this. See that? It's kind of rounded at the end. Perfect for gripping onto the hose. Now I haven't drained my system out. There's probably still some in there. You get that around the hose like that. You turn it, break it free, because it's gonna be seized on there if it's an old hose. A lot of people stress out and they start to do this part of the job and they're just like, can't get it off. So they give up and they sell their car. I've seen a few people on the forums sell their car because they can't replace their radiator, or they have some problem replacing their radiator. Definitely gonna have some fluid come out. Don't judge me. I know I should have drained it. That's okay though. It's mostly water anyways. Whew. No, it's mostly water. All the coolant in this car evacuated on the interstate. So this is mostly just water. I put water in it to see where it was leaking. But yeah, anyways, let this dry out and then I'll get back to it. Once you remove your lower radiator hose, there's a few wiring harnesses you need to detach. There's one right here above the hose, that one. Then there's this one. And then there's one a little further up there, but you can get that from the top. I'm not gonna do this with one hand. I'm gonna use two hands and be careful with this because I don't want to mess up these wiring harnesses. So all the wiring harnesses are detached right now. There's a few down there. Just look around, look at all the wiring harnesses, make sure they're all unplugged, make note of where they go. There's several of them. There's 3 on the bottom. I think there's 2 up top. You're gonna wanna loosen the condenser up to give you a little bit of room. There's a bolt there, 10 millimeter, and a 10 millimeter here. Your condenser will go free. I've lifted mine up and got it out. Just about that much on the left side. That's all you're gonna need to get the radiator out. You can lift this one up too, but this is a hard line, so you don't wanna move that too much, or you might end up letting all your Freon out or all your refrigerant out. And then you're gonna have an issue and have to replace all that. So just be really careful with this part. And just, I was able to get this out just enough. And this is gonna be enough room to get this radiator out. And the fans, the whole assembly. And then you'll be able to put a brand new one, as long as it's the same exact one, back in. And if it's smaller, then maybe that's easier too, but this is definitely a 2-hand job. I'm gonna try to do it with 1. You're gonna want to, there's no way I can do this 1 hand. The right side up first, to clear the fan. Once that fan's clear, clear the left side out. There it is. Not too bad, came out pretty good. Hey, once you're done with that radiator, check out some of these videos, especially this one right here. It's pretty funny, and it'll teach you how to fix your paint.